What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of HossTalks, and luckily I got this guy to fly into TMS to chit-chat with me. Keith, thanks for taking time from this hectic schedule here this week to sit down and chit-chat with me. How you doing this week, and how are things holding up for you?
Good. A little warm down here, but racing's been great, and got our first night in last night, so everything went good. Hopefully 2 more nights here.
So I kind of wanted to take a moment to just chit-chat with you real quick because the KKM Challenge is something new, and really wanted to tell folks at home and let them know like what your overall vision was for this and what brought the whole KKM Challenge up. We've already had one huge successful event really at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. So let's kind of talk about how it got brought up, how it was built up, and then we'll kind of talk about Sweet Springs a little bit as well.
Yeah, originally, probably 3 years ago, the idea came up to have 4 or 5 races across the country that all led to the KKM. There's a lot of racetracks out there that have big events, but they're just one event for that racetrack, and nowhere is there like a little series that kind of everybody can get excited about. And so we kind of came up with this idea, me and Kenny Brown, and this year was our first year that we added 2 events. We call them the KKM Challenge races. And for these 2 races, we guaranteed the winner for a spot into the KKM Classic, the Give Back Classic at the end of the year at Port City. So our goal is really to expand this to, possibly 6 to 8 races across the country. Would like to go to the East Coast, would like to go to the West Coast, and give everybody a chance to, in micro racing, to kind of follow a little series that pays really good and get more recognition on the micro sprints.
Well, let's talk about that because you talk about big ping races, and there's so many of them starting to pop up now, and $10,000 to win on a championship night is huge anywhere. But then to tell that guy, hey, you win this race, you're getting $10,000, and now you're going to get a shot at $15,000 or a Chili Bowl ride come October whenever we run the KKM Give Back Classic. What's the thought process of running not running a $5,000 or $7,500? Why $10,000? Why make it that big?
Well, I think $10,000 gets everybody's attention. There's some 5,000 races here and there, but to put on a show this size, you have to have a good car count. We've added, depending on the place that we go, we have to decide what those other divisions are. Where at Sweet Springs we did A-class, restrictor, junior sprints. We really like the junior sprints and the restrictors, because it's, the young kids and, different families. The guys that are racing the outlaw stuff are pretty serious racers in this micro deal, where the junior sprints and the restrictors are more family oriented, and they're just, these young kids are just having a blast to be involved in a big event like this, and the families are too. So we got to figure out that balance of, do you be able to get the right amount of cars at all these events to make it successful. Different parts of the country, there's different classes that are successful, so that's part of the challenge of us picking all those and trying to put this whole thing together.
It's been really pretty cool to see the involvement, and you made mention of calling it an event. This isn't just another race.
Right.
We do a lot of work together, you and I, and through the broadcasting with Dirt 2 Media and Flow Racing, and to make it an event to where people want to come and be a part of it. It's not just another race. What are some things that you look forward to whenever you come to run a KKM Challenge? I know you as a car owner, as a promoter, the whole nine, what gets you excited about coming to some of these events here?
Well, I think, like you say, making it an event, and my thought process on that is, all these races, the big races, micro races, they get a check and trophy at the end of the weekend. That's about all you see, and it's basically a big regular weekend race. Mm-hmm. So, we're trying to make every night special, with trophies and pictures for the top 3 guys. We're hitting social media a lot, trying to get all these kids, good social media attention, putting eyes on everybody, So that's big to the people that are participating, the kids, the families. And, you know, it's just so cool with them little kids and their families, how happy everybody is. You know, both of these events, you know, everybody's just been super great. They just kind of, you know, you got to have a show, not just a race, you know.
Right.
So that's kind of been my end of it. Kenny puts on the races and manages all of that. And I've been around for a while, you know, in a lot of races. And, you know, there's just certain things that you catch on to that you feel like captures the audience. And, you know, and that's what I'm trying to do. And not only that, I get to look after the track prep quite a bit, you know, just my experience of being a racer and that, you know, I can see things and work really tight with Kenny Brown and his whole crew, you know, at trying to keep bringing a better track every night. And that's the toughest part.
That is the toughest part, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Watching at Sweet Springs, your involvement and the way that you and Kenny work together and bounce ideas off of each other, it's not your standard partnership. It's more straightforward and straight to it. Hey, let's do this. No, we're going to do that. But the overall product that we had at Sweet Springs was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. And last night, there were some challenges, some major challenges, and just talk about those challenges as far as just being in different parts of the region. The dirt is totally different here.
Yeah. You know, Sweet Springs was, I mean, you couldn't ask for 3 better nights of a racetrack that was real workable, and we really controlled. And when we went in to do something, it worked, you know. We got a pretty good rhythm going of how to move the cushion. You know, when the bottom would come in, we could bring the top back in, back and forth. This place is different dirt, you know. It's black gumbo, but it wants to just seal over. They don't throw stuff to build a cushion, so we're trying to, you know, if it gets slick, it really eats tires up and takes rubber pretty quick. So, you know, last night we dug it up pretty hard to start the day with, and then tried stuff during the night, and you just kind of, it's a trial and error thing to see what works and how we can get it to move. And this is definitely one of the more difficult places. It's good dirt, and I think we had a good race last night, you know. It got, all the heat races or qualifiers and all that, you know, guys from the second row came up and won them pretty much. And in the feature, you know, there was some good racing going on, some good passing. So it's, you know, we want to get at the outer groove a little higher around the track. And then, you know, if it gets so far around, it kind of brings the bottom back into a 2-groove thing. But trying to get the move up here without letting it get away from us and too dry is it's a real small thing.
It's a fine line.
It's a real fine line of how much water we can get in it and how to move it and everything.
And the other thing that I was reminding people at home on the broadcast last night, the bigger challenge for this weekend is that this is the only time this racetrack is going to run this year.
Yeah.
At Sweet Springs, and whenever you go to Port City, you were working with the Cook family, and you're working with Kenny Bippis and Shane at Port that run weekly that say, hey, no, whenever we did that, it does this, so you have something to go off of. Here, your notebook is empty.
Right.
So finding the fine line is big.
Kenny has one of his guys from Lake of the Ozarks here that's kind of running the tractors and has got a pretty good idea on all that. And then, you know, me and Kenny, but he's also got Austin. His son was here last night, and Austin was a big help, you know. I mean, he's a racer. He could see it. He fixed a lot of stuff last night that we were having issues with, and really caught on really quick of seeing how to manipulate the racetrack with what we got to do to it. So hopefully tonight, you know, Austin will be on it, and I'll be down there, and Kenny will be there, and put our heads together.
That is a big deal. That the other thing that folks at home may not know is that Kenny's brought in people from Lake Ozark like Bryce and Tim that they came down here several days before to start working the track. Now Austin's here, and it's good to show that there's not just 1 or 2 guys trying to figure it out, that you guys are really putting your heads together and working on it, and that's pretty phenomenal in my opinion.
Yeah, and we got good equipment here. You know, we got I don't know what they're called. There's a couple
of Kubota tillers out there.
Yeah, we got a Lily tiller and some other
Devil's
things there.
Bowl let you use a mister, and
we got a mister. We got a
soil conditioner
and stuff on it. So we got a lot of equipment. One of the biggest problems with this track is it's got like a bowl cut in the bottom of it, and then it kind of flattens out. So when you get above that, everybody gets off camber and they can't get
back on.
Yeah,
it just sucks them out.
Yeah, if the bottom's decent at all, they just run in that little bowl around there, so trying to get it moved up into that second groove is definitely challenging here.
The last thing that I want to talk about here is the partners that we have for this event, and for all of our events, because it's not just a one event based deal. We like to bring everybody with us wherever we go, and we've had a lot of great partners in the past. A lot of folks are having to redirect their funding different places, but we've had a lot of new partners come in, and we still, of course, you always have room to grow because you want to make it a bigger event and do more for not only the racers but the race fans. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some of the partners that we've had in the past. Max Pappas Incorporated was a huge supporter of the KKM Give Back Classic, and we've had a lot of new partners come on and a lot of folks that are showing interest in coming on. And let's just talk about what it is to be a sponsor or be a partner of an event like this. We don't just put your name on a shirt and that's it. We do a lot more than that.
Yeah, we have a lot of different options there, whether it's nightly sponsors. We name the night after them, and we try to blitz the TV,
the broadcast.
The broadcast, yeah. We try to blitz the broadcast with people that are coming on, or we're trying to get, they're Rush Race Gear. This is their area. They're right from here. Real nice looking suits. They've just kind of gotten into it here in the last year or so, and they're giving free suits to Saturday night winners, 50% off suits to the hard chargers. So, we're trying to help them out. That's a big, when you add all that up for them guys, that's a big
huge
contribution, to the racer. And it was great, like at Sweet Springs, Braxton Bush won the junior sprint. Well, he's on a suit deal, so Kyle said just pass it on to the next guy. That was Braxton Flat, and he was on a suit deal, so the third place guy ended up getting a free suit.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's cool, have Kyle and guys like that here, that are helping promote all this stuff here, and and it's pretty cool to see that whole operation with Kyle Busch and Braxton, the family oriented. They've been to all these races, and that kid's really good. Yeah,
we'll talk about that a little bit. At Sweet Springs after practice, Samantha was over there cleaning the cars, and I'm like, this is crazy, the involvement. But then not only that, the camaraderie that Braxton shows with his other drivers. He's worried. He wants to get his interview over with so he can go congratulate those guys on a good run and everything else. And then just the fan involvement, seeing the fans now being, I don't mean this in a rude way, but they're more excited to see the junior sprint, see Braxton and those guys go after it. And just the fact that Kyle allows, Kyle Busch allows us to say, hey, Braxton's going to be here, and kind of push that younger generation, because those kids are the future of our sport.
Yeah, Braxton, he's been the star of our show for the last
couple of years.
Last couple of these last races here, he's been the star of the whole thing all week. Last week at Sweet Springs, he swept everything. He's starting off here tonight doing that. But and then back to our sponsors. With like I say, Rush Race Gear has been a big supporter here, and want to do more in the future. Milestone.
Yep, Mark and Justin there with Milestone Home Service Company. This is their area, so
this is their area.
We're trying to.
It was kind of a last minute thing yesterday. We got to talking to them and said, let's do something together and
come up with some ideas. As we get into these markets, and it kind of shows us what we need to do different as far as getting into those markets and finding people that we can really help to kind of grow their business, and things are just getting bigger as we go too.
And these are people that are, they're into the micro sprints, junior sprints, and this is their area, and they want to see these big events happen, come to their area, so they're willing to step in and help some. So,
absolutely. So if you had to really think about the KKM Challenge, the KKM Give Back, which you've been doing for several years now, and the growth, what is one thing that you think you could do better to make to make it just an overall better show, make it an overall better experience? Is there something in your wheelhouse here that you're already got the wheels going? Because I see them turning already, but you're like, I can tell that maybe you're not ready to really release what you're thinking of because it's something that's going to just pop off and go big. Is there anything that you feel like you need to do better as a promoter? Because you've done things as a car owner, as a team owner, but now you're putting this promoter hat on. Are there things that like you see other promoters doing that you want to do better?
Yeah, you always want to be better than the last guy. So, I'm just trying. I'm still trying. I'm very new at this. I mean, this is only about the 4th event that I've ever done. Period. In the last couple of years. So, just learning every time that we do something of what we need to do, and it's really all about the people you got involved. I mean, it takes a lot of people to run this whole thing and pull all aspects. But for me, it's the TV show, the broadcast is a big thing for me. Getting our shows over with. Kenny's done such a great job of.
Absolutely.
I mean, we roll out on
an
the racetrack.
efficient show for sure.
We roll out on the track. Heat race after heat race. It's one to go, and we're trying to move along. It's just we're trying to grow. We just want to grow bigger and bigger and be able to put on events across the country. And I think it'll be really cool if we can get something out on the East Coast and something on the West Coast here in the next year. And we just got to find that right racetrack and try to make something happen.
Well, there you go. East Coast, West Coast. We're looking at you. We've got you on the penciled in there, just trying to find the right area. If you're looking to be a part of the series, be a part of us, whether it be a racetrack that you think maybe, hey, we might be able to come visit you and race with you. If you're looking to partner up with us, like you said, we've got too many options. I mean, there's endless possibilities and endless markets and so much that we can do. It's not just a monetary deal. It's even gift certificates for our drivers to give something back to the racers, even the race fans. If you want to donate some shirts to throw out to the crowd, I mean,
Absolutely.
We're all about that as well. So we're really not that hard to find. Keith is on all socials. I'm on all socials. So just reach out. We want you to be a part of the KKM Challenges, the KKM Give Back. It's been Keith Kunz right here on HossTalks.
Performance Electronics, custom electronic solutions. From design to manufacturing, let us put your ideas in motion and become your company's full-service electronics manufacturing experts. Performance Electronics.